Hey fellow gamers, Chatty Sisa here and welcome to the November live stream. A little bit late than usual, I apologize, but you know me probably already. So I'm very happy that you are here and I do hope that you will be enjoying today's stream. We have a ton of topics to talk about. I have a very long list prepared. I have to put it on the screen. Not for you so far, but for me at least. Just so that I don't miss anything, because it was really so much that I had to really write down an entire list. And the first thing that I wanted to say is that I do apologize for not replying so quickly to everyone on the in the comment section on the vids, because it's been quite busy lately, honestly. So I did have a lot to do also during the week, and most of the time I had some more time during the weekend. And I was trying to, reply to everybody, but it was just not possible all the time. And also the stream, I did promise that I will make it either on the 14th or the 20th. And then I didn't manage to do it last week because my PC started to act up a little bit. Nothing serious. It was just a, let's say, hardware hiccup, but I had to completely, open it and take out some stuff and bring it back, etc. So yeah, hoping it will stay alive for quite a few years more. Then I did run a few tests, so currently it looks like it's fine. And I can see Olivia is here. Hey, hi Olivia, nice to see you here. I hope you can hear me well. Please let me know in case there is a problem with the audio or the video, because I am not sure if the audio and video will be fine. I know it was a little bit weird with the net here lately as well, so I hope that everything will be okay. But in case you spot something, please let me know. So I just started and I was just talking about the problems with the PC. The good news is that sound is good. Okay, thank you. Good, thank you. So the good news is that the PC is fine for next few years. It's not nothing serious with it, nothing wrong. So I'm really happy that I did some stress testing. And those of you who did a couple of times already some stress testing, they know that the biggest thing that you are watching for probably is the errors that you are getting, and then the temperature. So no errors, everything's fine. But when I've seen the temperature rising towards 90 degrees, I was like, okay, probably should stop the stress test. Don't want to fry my GPU or CPU, so I did stop it then. But like I said, good news, should be fine. And it will not be fine the moment when we see some new games coming out that will be demanding on the CPU and GPU like crazy, because the Unreal Engine 5 games that are currently coming out, when I see the specs and the required settings that you need to have on your PC, I'm like, okay, maybe you'll have to buy something new sooner or later, but yeah, I'm hoping it will stay for a while as it is. So much for the PC and everything. Like I said, we do have a lot of topics for today. So I have prepared the list. The Mafia, the Old Country, the ending. I want to talk about that. That will be the first topic. Definitely, for sure. Probably not in the same way as you think, but let's talk about it. Then I have written down Ubisoft. We talk a little bit about Ubisoft, and then in general, the gaming awards. I did put in there much more, because some stuff is related with the game awards, either with the Golden Joystick Awards that we already have seen, and which already have some winners, and then also with the upcoming game awards, which are now in December. I don't even remember the date. 11th or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. So definitely we'll talk about that. And then I do have some news for Stargate nerds. I do like Stargate, so I just want to mention it here as well. We've seen some new gameplay from Dawnwalker. I know I have said that I will not necessarily cover the game on the channel, but I just want to mention some stuff regarding the game, so let me a little bit talk about it. And then what I want to show you, because I'm not sure if people are aware, is that there are some ongoing issues with YouTube, and it's not what we have seen so far. So it's like every week something interesting new. Not necessarily good, but interesting for sure. So I want to talk about this a little bit, and then I also do have like some new channel or an additional different channel that I want to introduce to you, not mine, but someone else's, and I think it really deserves like more spotlight, so I'm going to show you something. So that would be like the rough program that I have prepared. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about, and yeah, you can see, Olivia, you're having already fun. Good, so let me start with Mafia, the Odd Country, the ending. And let me also like maybe switch a little bit the screen so you can see what I have prepared. Don't get scared when you see the stuff. Let me first do one thing here. I don't want to show you the bookmarks bar. Not that I have something to hide, but you don't necessarily need to see what I'm preparing and currently working on. So let me hide it, because I put like a lot of stuff that I'm working on the bookmarks toolbar, so that I have it like quickly at hand when I'm working on some scripts and some stuff. So I hide it. Good. Let me share the screen right now. Let me go back to the screen. I will be switching back and forth a little bit between the screens. You don't see it because I have basically like two views to see your chat. I have the chat embedded in the streaming software in OBS, and I have it on this side. So that's why I'm looking towards this side. So it's here. And the other option is that I can have it like open in a separate window, but then you would see it as well if I would put it on the desktop screen. So I rather like switch between the desktop and OBS. So don't get scared when I'm replying a little bit later to what you're writing. But let me change the screen in OBS and let me show you one thing. Let me go to the desktop. Preferably with my face in it. Hello. Good. So I did prepare something, and of course I knew that there will be a lot of discussion after I finished playing the game, that people will be talking about it. It was quite clear. So I did, after I finished, I did check the discussions online, and of course Reddit is usually the first thing that comes up when you are searching for something. So I was looking for the ending. And while I have to say most people have a problem with the ending in terms of the stories, let me just show you basically the people are saying that it soured the whole experience, and most of the time they were discussing like who should have died and who should not have died. I am probably a small exception here. I'm not necessarily complaining about like Enzo dying. I mean, yes, it did. It wasn't so great to see. It did kind of feel bad. So I felt bad for him, really. But it wasn't a disappointment to me as a player, because that's what, let's say, good writing is about. You don't always get a happy ending. And in this case, the whole game, when you've seen what happened to the other people, and when you've seen, okay, this is really a Mafia game, and a lot of people were saying also, that was my feeling, you know, some stuff is not going to end well in a game like this, about a Mafia. Even though I haven't played the previous games, but it was just, you know, the whole setting and the whole, I don't know how to put it, like the whole situation with all the people, it's not like a nice, it's not a nice way of living, I would put it this way. So you have to expect something bad happening. So I wasn't so shocked about Enzo dying. Yes, of course, like I said, I was very sad about it in general, although I didn't like cry or anything. I'm not necessarily like so super emotional on camera, but at least like most of the time, I think. But it did, like it hurt me, like it was like, oh, I felt for the character as such. But the story was really well written, and I honestly found it quite, let's say, I don't want to say amusing, it's not the right word, but I kind of found it like funny that, all the time the people have been working towards, let's say, a common goal, towards something that where they wanted to build like more this family business. And when they started dying, it all just fell apart, including, let's say, that family business. Of course, the exploding volcano was playing a big role, but in general, it was. I think when Luca died, it was kind of like the first step towards this downfall of the whole family. To be honest, at least for me, when I reviewed it later. For me, what was really disappointing were the illogical things. And there were a lot in the ending. So, like I said, I don't have necessarily a problem with the people dying, but some of the stuff was so illogical and so badly executed, I have to say, that I did have, let's say, a sour experience at the end, but not because of the story necessarily, but because of the logical problems. So for me, it was, for example, there were too many, but let's just say one thing. You have Enzo dragged away from Isabella and from that train station, and for whatever reason, they bring him to the mine. There were 100 different other places, I think, where they could have like brought him to, closer to the house, something like that. I don't know. I just, for me, I understand the point why the writers did it. They wanted to basically bring him back to where he came from. Okay. So he basically died there, where he probably could have died already all those years ago. That wasn't really the problem, but it was like first illogical thing. And then why would Torisi himself personally like go through the mine and trying to shoot Enzo? Like, it just didn't make sense. Why would he do it himself? Like I said, maybe it would have made more sense to bring him to, I think there was like something like separate houses or buildings that belong to the farm not so far away from the house. They could have brought him there, and then it would be more understandable that Torisi himself is there and that he's like trying to kill him himself because revenge, vendetta, whatever. So, okay, I would have understood that. But the mine, it just didn't make much sense. And then the next thing that didn't make much sense was good. Cesare was fighting with him. They had a knife fight. He tried to kill him, Enzo. So Cesare tried to kill Enzo. And the fight ended basically with Enzo, I think, doing the first mistake, letting Cesare live, because he was under the delusion that Cesare is his friend. I'm sure when you watched my playthrough, you know exactly what my thoughts were on Cesare. I absolutely disliked the guy from the start, and it was very obvious also throughout the game that he's very selfish. And he was telling Enzo the whole time, like, you're my friend, but nah, he wasn't. He was really like looking down at him, and I think he perceived actually Enzo as a threat, and especially then at the end when Enzo went to Palermo, to the opera house, to get rid of the Baron and Spadaro. And Cesare was, let's say, left out, and Torisi didn't even tell Cesare what's going on. So basically he thought, okay, Enzo is now the right hand of Don Torisi, and I'm just again being like pushed aside. And I think his jealousy just exploded at that point. I think he was jealous already slightly over time and more. And then that was the point where it was like a point of no return. I don't think after that he has seen Enzo as a friend. I think he rather seen him as an enemy. He just didn't say it out loud, or he didn't want to show it. But it was quite clear in the last chapter when he didn't hesitate basically to try to kill Enzo. So Enzo letting him live, I knew this will come back and bite him in the ass. And the moment when you see Cesare there and he just like wants to hug Enzo, you know something's off. And if you're not a total idiot, even Enzo should have known that something's off. So for me, it was kind of like cheap, the way how he died. So again, I didn't have a problem that the story ended with Enzo dying. It was kind of like cheaply executed by, like, I don't think he would have been that dumb to trust Cesare, especially after what happened before. So that was the next like illogical thing for me. And then I think after the point where Enzo killed Torisi, basically that should have been like the end of the, let's say, playable part. It was quite hard to go through the fight, honestly. So I think that's where it should have ended. And everything after that should have just been a cinematic. And that was my criticism, which I've also mentioned, I think, in the comments. It would have left you with a different feeling, I think, after you have like ended the game, because it was a shock. Like at this point, you currently see Enzo dying. You're like, what the hell? Sound goes out. So if you notice, the moment he died, basically the sound stopped and you just only had the video, not the audio anymore. And that was a very impactful moment. And then it basically gets immediately destroyed by you playing as Isabella. Not a problem that you are playing as Isabella, but like sneaking around the house. Everything's burning. That was the biggest illogical thing. Everything's completely burning. People are like, normal people would try to save their lives and maybe save something from the house, or just like technically just run away. Nobody will stay voluntarily in a burning house and chase somebody else just because the Don said it. They didn't even know if he's still alive. So people are dying, everything's burning, and you have an old guy who is happy to even be breathing and walking, and he wastes his time instead of like leaving and trying to save whatever he can. He's chasing Isabella around. I will not let you go, whatever. Like, no, this was for me like the biggest nope. That's why I basically ended the game there, because I was just so already fed up with the scene. It was absolute nonsense to me. So I think if they would just make a cinematic after the point where Enzo died and just tell the end of the story basically in cinematic, like small bits, you would get to know the ending of the game, and you would see, okay, Isabella is safe and she's made it. But I don't know. It's just, this was the moment where it just completely like ruined for me the ending, where instead of sitting there watching what just happened, trying to digest it, and then seeing what the rest of the like characters have experienced, now you have to play with some old guy. I will not let you go. Yeah. Oh, come on. So, yeah, this was for me like the top. Like, nope. Okay. Let me switch to OBS because I don't see your chats, but yeah, there it is. Okay, so Olivia is saying, I didn't mind the ending. Gameplay aside, I loved Enzo as a character. I did cry. Not upset he died, but how it happened made no sense. The same as I am saying. Yeah. Wish it was different, but it was a good narrative to me. That's exactly what I'm saying too. Like, story-wise, it was really well written. I did like it. I just had a problem with these illogical things, especially at the end. It just added one to another, it's there were a couple of illogical things in the game previously as well, but you just kind of skipped through it because it wasn't really so prominent, and there were other things to do, so it wasn't really something that you would like really have time to wonder about, I would say. And it didn't really like impact the entire impression that you had from the previous chapters or the story so far. But here in the end, it was really it just killed it off for me, you know. So I'm rather, let's say, disappointed in how the execution was of the ending. So not the ending as such, but the execution of it. It just would have been maybe better if they would have changed it a little bit. I kind of wish that Enzo would have made it back to the vineyard and then something like that happened. Yeah. Like I said, maybe if it would be closer to the house, it would make more sense, like not necessarily there in the mines, but okay, I understood they wanted to make like a big shootout there and you had plenty of spots where you could hide, etc. But still, logically, yeah, it just didn't make sense to me, like these little details, and then especially then, like I said, the old Tino chasing Isabella around, everything's burning, you can barely see, but yes, he's going to chase a woman around the courtyard. It was just, oh, come on. So much for the ending. So from my side, like I said, I still really enjoy the game. I was actually finishing the game afterwards later, and I took the time to roam around in the exploration mode, and I was gathering everything that I could. I did even replay some of the chapters where I just missed, you know, I don't know, the Trinacrias and the newspapers and stuff like that. So I did manage to gather all of the mystery foxes. That's why I replayed some of the portions or some of the chapters. And there's quite a funny bit at the end when you gather all the foxes. You have an option to like wear something you go to to the cupboard where your things are hanging, and you can wear something. I don't necessarily want to spoil it here if somebody like hasn't seen it, because I am currently working on a review for the game, and also in a nutshell. And I'm not sure if I want to put it into the review or into the nutshell, but it will be there, like what's the result of finding all these mystery foxes. To my surprise, because for the mystery foxes, I had to look up the guides to be able to find them all. And some of the guides I have noticed have missed certain items. And for example, especially in that mission in Palermo, in that opera house, they were saying that there are only 2 foxes, and I have found 3. So I'm not sure if it's like optional, if you have missed maybe one somewhere previously in some of the other chapters, that the third one is popping up there like optionally, or if it's like really there and just people missed it in their guides, but there's 3 foxes. So that was a little bit of a surprise for me, to be honest. So yeah, I did try to gather some stuff, and I had some fun like replaying certain portions. I did not replay the portion with the car chases, I will be honest. I'm not sure if I want to. But aside from that, I did have some fun. Did you see that they updated it with free ride mode? They added some fun challenges, new weapons and cars, a photo mode, and a new cinematic mode in Sicilian. Yes, I have seen it, so I actually want to like update the game, and I want to have some fun with it and try it. But first, I would like to finish, you know, the review and the in a nutshell. But yeah, I was looking at it. Although they did add like new car chases and stuff like that, not necessarily something I'm going to do. No, thanks. I'm not so fond of the car chases, but yeah, I will definitely like use some of the stuff that I have seen. It was quite fun. So yeah, that is for sure. I wanted to show you that there was in like among all the whole discussion, there was basically, I think, somebody who wrote something that I also have to agree with. So it's this one. I think the setup for the betrayal is sound. Think about it, the Don's last words, as Cesare is in his sight behind Enzo. And that's the point, like, I didn't realize as well, yes, that Don has already seen Cesare behind Enzo, and Enzo didn't see him behind his back. Is that you can change who you are. This is both a shot at Enzo as well as a warning that he does not heed. Cesare sees the truth for what his uncle was and where his narrow view of life got him and broke him. He wanted to apologize to Enzo for choosing the life he did and realizing he can't go back, he'd rather end everything on his terms. It's sad as the game did such a great job conveying this after Luca's death too, which broke the family, as even on his deathbed in front of the Dawn, he betrays the word of the family and begs Enzo to get out. Yeah, that was exactly what I also wanted to mention. Like, this was like as if the mask fell off. He just didn't care because he knew he's dying, so he just told him, like, get out, because he didn't want him to die. Yeah. And also here it's like Mafia stories are not supposed to have a happy ending or once be like, that's the sign of a great Mafia tale, which, to be frank, is this is more of a love story wearing the code of a Mafia story, which I think is the right direction to go in the future. I do have to agree with this take as well. It was a lot of the time about the love story between Enzo and Isabella, and basically I think it was, if they wouldn't be forced to leave, if it really would be the way that Torisi would accept him, and if he didn't have like plans for her, I think that was the biggest problem. Like, he had his own plans, and regardless of what she wanted, if they both didn't fall in love, or if Don Torisi wouldn't have so many like plans with Isabella, then I don't think it would have played out the way it did. So I think that was a very important bit in the story, their love story, that part, you know. So yeah. Like I said, it's there's quite a lot that I did like and quite a lot that I didn't like, and the ending was one of those things. And Weebs is here. Hey, nice to see you. Nosferatu enters the chat. Okay, so it's great to see you. Thank you that you have joined. It's nice. And Olivia says, can't wait for that review. Nice to hear you found the foxes. Yeah. And like I said, I will be incorporating like what's the result of finding all the foxes, either in the review or in this in a nutshell that I'm going to do. That's always a little bit more funny. The review is more serious and about half an hour long, and the in a nutshell vids are like 5 minutes long, and that's like a very funny summary of a game. So yeah. Cesare's envy is what beat him in the end. If he had been able to see that he was more than the Mafia, he wouldn't have been left alone with nothing. Exactly. But like they said, some people can change. That's from Oliver. And yeah, I think that was basically karma getting him at the end, where everybody else died. He, let's say, finally managed to be the head of the family, only there was no family left anymore and no house left anymore and nothing basically left anymore. So he was the king of the ashes, I would say, in this case. So yeah. So that was regarding Mafia, the Old Country ending. I definitely will be like talking about it more in the summary. And I also wanted to mention that there is a Steam community item update, so you can see it on the screen. They have now like badges and trading cards and backgrounds, emoticons, and all sorts of other things. So that's also something that was updated. So just FYI. Let me go back to the screen so I can see what you're writing. And oh, Snake, hi, hey, what's up? Nice to see you here. So it's great to see so many people. Hey, Snakey. Good. I have some more topics. Let me just switch maybe here between the screen so you can see me a little bit and I can pull up my notes. So that was the first thing. I'm still waiting if Louis is not going to join, because I think I have promised Snackish Raccoon, that is, that if Louis joins, I will bother him a little bit with the question if he has already finally played Mass Effect. So just FYI. Next topic I have is Ubisoft and some studio layoffs, etc. I did specifically look up like if there is something more that happened in the meantime since we've got the news, and I don't think there is something new. Let me just maybe go back to the summary. I think, I know many people are not so fond of the AIs. I don't mind, to be honest, if he's doing if the AI is doing a good summary on Google. It's quite helpful, I will be honest. Next topic, Sisa will start to playing Souls-like. It's from Weeps. I don't know. Well, I keep the jokes on the down low. That's from Snake. Good. Let me share again the desktop. Ubisoft sounds like an ad syndrome you need a pill for. Good. So, like I said, AI overview gave me a good summary because I was just wondering what's going on. I really, it's hard for me to keep track of everything that's going on. It's been so much, like I said. So, but I think the most like panic started after they delayed their earnings report, which is also on the screen, like summarized. And it's not just that, like the company's struggles are attributed to a combination of factors, including a history of corporate scandals, poor sales for newer titles like Assassin's Creed Shadows, and an expensive investment in the failed free-to-play shooter X Defiant. Okay, in response, Ubisoft is undertaking restructuring, so layoffs, cancelling some projects and delaying others like Far Cry 7 and the next Ghost Recon to focus on improving quality. Focus on improving quality. I mean, if they start to do the same thing as some other companies, like, okay, fire the people, let's save some cost, and then let's handle everything with AI, I'm not sure if it's going to necessarily improve quality. We've seen some fun, and it will be also at the end of the stream where I will be talking about YouTube a little bit more. Hopefully my channel will still exist after this evening when I'm going to say something against the YouTube. But yeah, so I just was wondering if there is something new, but there is not something. I think some people are speculating like if they are going to be acquired by some other company. Vara did make a bit about it. I actually like her updates and her vids because she's also doing a lot of let's say research and pulls up a lot of information. So I always enjoy like watching her summaries, and usually there is something happening really in the background when people start to talk about certain things like being acquired by another company. There could be something behind that. I don't know, we'll probably see. But what was really like the most shocking, I think, was the earnings that were postponed like last minute, not even last minute, like last second probably. And yeah, I had a good laugh when they were officially like stating that the Assassin's Creed Shadows was not doing as expected, while people or some defenders of Ubisoft have been screaming before, it's a fantastic game, it's doing well, it will like break all records. Well, it doesn't look that way, to be honest. It does have something to do with the budget, definitely. So it also says here it has the highest budget in the series, but the lowest sales. Again, I'm not going to go into the details of how much the games cost these days. That would be a topic for a completely different vid. But in general, like it's cost. The games these days are costing millions. Sometimes a normal person is wondering like, where the hell is all this money going? To be honest, and then of course they need to sell just as much to not just get their money back, but if you want to have a successful title, you have to make some revenue on it, right? So when you spend millions on the game, you have to earn more millions, and it's just for some games it's just not feasible. So I'm wondering why they are not rather like trying to tone down the spending while they are still making the game, instead of then hoping that they will sell, I don't know, 40 million. So it's just not feasible for some games. And yeah, especially when you have controversy in the game development or in the game as such, or with the people in the studio. So we can see what negative impact that this can have. So I don't know what's going to happen, and we'll keep an eye on that. Not necessarily that like I'm not necessarily like following up on Ubisoft games. I'm not having them on the channels, but there's so much going on with bigger studios. We have seen lately the sale of EA, and now Ubisoft is having some financial trouble, clearly. I'm wondering like what's going to happen to them, and if they also are going to be maybe bought by somebody else. So let me just switch the screen. Ubisoft Attack on Titan joke is out for AC Shadows. It's from Weebs and from Weebs. It's not something, like I said, where I have more information, but it's definitely interesting to see what's going on currently in the gaming industry. And this is just one of the issues that we have seen. Let me switch and let me again pull up my notes. The next topic, which I have also advertised, was the Game Awards. And there's quite a few things that go hand in hand with those. We have seen the Golden Joystick Awards, and to my surprise, actually, Expedition 33 did win, I think, a record number of awards. I'm not so sure, but I think they were like nominated in many categories, and they have won, I think, most of them. I do believe in some categories somebody else or some other game was winning, just not to give everything to Expedition 43. It was so blatantly obvious, to be honest. Snake is writing the new name for Ubisoft is Ubisoft. Okay, yeah. For me, it's the same when I pronounce it, sorry. So basically regarding the Joystick Awards, I did like it that the Expedition 43 did win so many. I didn't play it myself yet. I have it on my list, on my endlessly growing list. I didn't play it yet, but I was watching some of the vids about the game, and I also know that Snacky Raccoon has made some vids about it, and she really loved the game, so I promised that I will have to play it. And I do know that it was a really successful game because people have enjoyed playing it. So the feedback was very positive, and I do not wonder that the game has won so many awards. So that's the first thing. So I really like that a smaller studio managed to create such a fantastic game that the people liked, and that also this fantastic game has finally won some awards, because we know that the Game Awards technically are quite, I don't want to say rigged, but very biased towards the bigger studios who are usually also paying some advertisement and some costs, etc. For the Golden Joystick Awards, like I said, the nominations were already quite good, so I was surprised. And the only thing I think that came to my mind, let me check, was I think I was a little bit surprised by how many of the voice actors were nominated. I'm not sure if it was the Golden Joystick Awards or the Game Awards that are upcoming, to be honest. Let me just check. And the Studio of the Year on the other, let me switch so you can see it as well. So I'm looking at the list of the categories for the Golden Joystick Awards, and here's the winners. And we can see that they have won as Best Soundtrack, Best Storytelling, Best Visual Design. Best Supporting Performer was also the voice actor from Expedition 33. And I think there was one more, Ultimate Game of the Year, so that was great. And also the Studio of the Year, Central Interactive. So that's a lot of the prizes which they have won, and that was great. My beef here with the Golden Joystick Awards was not necessarily the nominations this time, but certain, again, little details. If you look at, for example, the indie category, there are different games in these indie categories, and it's not just let's say one category is self-published and the other one is I think there was another one. There are different games in those categories, and lumping them all together, whether it's, I don't know, a platformer game or it's an RPG or it's something else, I don't know, pixel 2D art game or something like that. All those games are very different, and they just lump them together into one category. And then, of course, I don't know, you list how many games do we see? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 games in one category, only one can win. I think it would be good for especially also for the indie game developers, and they would deserve it to have at least like 2-3 separate categories, at least by type or genre of the game, not just throw them all together into like one category and saying, okay, indie game. It's just, they deserve more spotlight, I think, so usually the bigger games and the AAA studios, they get enough exposition, whether it's in the marketing or in the media or anywhere, and those indie games are struggling to get like word out to the gamers, and sometimes they are lucky and people notice, and then it's basically like the word gets around and people like are picking up on the game, and that's how more people are buying it, and it gets more into the media then as well. But most of them are not so lucky, and they just don't have that budget for the marketing. And of course, then it's for them very important to be shown or exposed somewhere more in like, for example, in the awards, and they just don't get enough space in my opinion. So I find it kind of sad that the indie games are all just thrown together into one category, to be honest. But let me know what you think about it, because I think sometimes I might not have necessarily the same views as you have. Let me put it that way. Yeah, that's the other thing that I wanted to mention. So the best lead performer and the best supporting performer, what I do have to praise here on the Golden Joystick Awards is that they have tried to include more voice actors from multiple different games, because they wanted to honor also people maybe from games that were not so great as such, but the performance of that actor was really great. And I enjoy this when I compare this to the nominees for the Game Awards, actually, where you have the best performer, best performance. Let me see. Yeah. So as much as I understand that Expedition 33 was a fantastic game, but there are 6 spots in this category, and 3 spots are taken by one and the same game. I would have really appreciated if more voice actors got the chance to win in this category. So that is something that I wasn't so fond of when I've seen the nominees here for the Game Awards, to be honest. So yeah, but that's just my opinion. Let me switch so I can see your comments. Ubisoft sounds like an ad syndrome you need a pill for. Yeah, we already had that. The new name for Ubisoft is Ubisoft. Okay, so I can see only the old comments. I don't see any new ones. I hope that I'm not stuck somewhere in a limbo and you can still follow up on the stream. So yeah, there was one of the topics were these actors that were nominated. That was what I wanted to mention. So like I said, yes, I know that they did a fantastic job. I have seen a couple of bits from the game, and it really was very well done, and also from their performance it was fantastic. But like I said, I would have wished that some more games would have gotten more exposition here as well and got the chance to win. Olivia is saying, I feel like it should be capped at 1 to 2 actors per game. Yes, yes, and especially if you have like just 6 nominees in a category, it would be good to have like max 2 per game. I agree with you. So not that the actors are bad, that's not what we are saying, but what we are saying is that some other games would have deserved the spot as well. So that was something regarding the Game Awards here. And also one more thing, let me just switch to my notes. Related to that was the information that Osiris Reborn was nominated for the best game trailer. And they also have a new update now. And Yes, Olivia is again writing. There were a lot of great actors that were not. Tom McKay from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 didn't get nominated, and he definitely deserved it. I did hear it from multiple people. You're not the only one who's saying that Tom from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 would have deserved a spot here as well. And I believe in general, Kingdom Come should have been nominated probably in more categories as well. So I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't. Let me put it that way. It was a very successful game this year, so that was a little bit surprising. And if I go back to the categories, let me just... I hope you can see it. No, you can't. So let me switch again. Let me go back to the categories. So if we look at the... where is it? Best trailer. I think there was somewhere best trailer. I keep on looking for it. I never find it on the first look. Or was it for the golden joysticks? Yeah, I think it was for the golden joysticks. Yeah, they have been nominated there, I think. Let me try to find it. Trailer. Yes, best game trailer. And as you can see, the GTA 6 won, of course, but they were nominated. The Expanse Osiris Reborn was nominated, the announcement trailer, and I really think the trailer was fantastic. So it was really, in a long time, one of the trailers where I was like, whoa, and immediately it caught my attention. I know GTA 6 was the winner probably because so many people were waiting for it for quite some time already. And also Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 also was nominated here. So I did like that they, let's say, nominated more games in every of the category, and they had like a better spread of the games throughout the categories than Game Awards, to be honest. So if you look at the Game Awards, most of the time you will see in many categories one and the same thing popping up. Yeah. So that is my view. Also regarding Exodus, for the Game Awards, the Exodus game will have a new trailer that will be introduced there. And I think a lot of people are looking forward to that one because it was kind of quiet for quite some time in relation to the game. And Archetype made just a lot of vids regarding the tabletop game, which they have. And then they did also do these like Q&A sessions with the game developers, but just here and there. So it wasn't like a regular feature on their YouTube channel or something. They were just like here and there doing one and the same thing, like Q&A for a certain topic, and then they were discussing certain questions which they've received from, let's say, the audience. And then you have noticed, I don't know, another Q&A session has passed, and the next one after that, you have seen some of the questions like repeating, maybe in a little bit of a different manner they were asked, or they were there was a little twist to the question, but basically to me it was like the same question, and they were again just like trying to reply to that. So it kind of looked to me like they are trying to keep alive the interest in the game, even though they didn't really want to release necessarily too many new information. And then the last Q&A they did, there was a little bit more, so they did already hint at certain new things, and now suddenly we get to hear that they are planning to release a trailer for Exodus during the Game Awards. And if I'm not mistaken, you can, I think, also already wishlist the game. And that's the same also for the Expanse Osiris Reborn. So both games can now be, I think, wishlisted, and that gives me good hope that they might be releasing during next year. And if both release during the next year, then we will have a ton to play. So that's very good news to me. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Exodus will come up with. And in general, what I like on both of the games is that so far when they were giving us some information, they are, let's say, very grounded in like realistic physics. They discuss a lot of the realistic physics. So Exodus was talking a lot about the time dilation, and I think they will be playing around with it. And then also, what needs to be considered when you are leaving for a longer time, so people will not be there whom you used to know. You will need, to have some kind of like a home base to come back to, because otherwise it's like coming back to a completely different planet and so on. So they really did think about what implications it might have if you are traveling, for so many years or even maybe decades or centuries. So that's one of the things. And for The Expanse, what I liked is they did release a video, I think it was like this week, last week, when they were talking about the, let's say, realism of battles in outer space. So yeah, normally if you would really want to do it realistically, it would be completely silent because you don't hear any sound in space. I think they did choose a very good approach, that they want to give you the idea or the impression that you are like what you would hear inside your suit. So the breathing and the very muted sounds of, they described, I think, like weapons recoil and you moving around. So you get at least some muted sound, and it's much more realistic. Of course, it's not so fancy, like if some stuff is very loud and exploding and whatever, but I do believe it's this realism which I really appreciate, is that they really try to stay grounded and true to the original series, because that was also very, let's say, based in realistic science. Let me put it that way. So it was a realistic sci-fi, if that even exists. But yeah. And also, The Witcher 4 will not be at the Game Awards. That's like the next topic which was presented. And I can say I'm surprised, because probably they are still like working on some changes. I think you've noticed it. There was quite different feedback from the people who were criticizing the game because of series looks from the first trailer, and then they had this like technical showcase for Unreal Engine 5. And they were like explicitly saying that no, this is not from the game. This is just specifically for showcasing the technical abilities. But then they were showing certain areas which we very much know. So it looked like the north of the continent, and then Ciri was there. And many people have noticed that she's looking different. And let me put it that way, better than in the trailer. And some people are now speculating that they are like after the negative feedback after the trailer, they probably like started to work more on the, let's say, polishing of some of the characters, and especially Ciri. So I'm not going down that road to discuss this at length, because I think I've said it already, but I will repeat it. I'm not really interested in a game which is called The Witcher, and which is having Ciri as a Witcher. I am not really fond of the idea, because for me they just ruined her as a character. She's not a Witcher and never will be a Witcher, but okay. And if they wanted to call the game a Witcher, I think people would have been appreciating if they would be able to, let's say, maybe create a customized Witcher. There were a lot of people who were talking about it, and maybe have a Witcher from, I don't know, a different school, and you could just choose, which school you want. So I think that would have been better received by many people than putting Ciri there as a Witcher. I mean, if you want to make a game with Ciri, just make it if you want to. Just don't call it The Witcher, and don't make her a physical Witcher. That's just not making any sense. So yeah, I will stop there. But back to the, let's say, physical appearance of Ciri. I do believe again that there will be some people saying, but yeah, it was just the lightning and it wasn't so polished, and Ciri is the same as she was in the trailer. No, she's not. Like I don't like it when people are trying to tell me like my eyes are bad and I don't see with my own eyes in like correctly what's going on. Yes, I do wear glasses, but I wear them to see properly, and I did see that Siri is changed. So yeah, I'm just curious at this point, like what will come out of this game. Like I said, I'm not really looking forward. I'm not even planning to play it, which is a shame. I did really like the Witcher games, but yeah, so much my opinion here. Okay, let me see that there's quite the few that just popped up now. Yeah, Snake says, did not bow down, I mean. Olivia is saying, I will happily give these two games my money. Yeah, it's Expanse and Exodus. I'm really looking forward to those two. And Snake is saying, I just want the new Mass Effect to pick up where we left off. No SJW shit, and just give the 1% the DLC so I don't have to deal with it and it can have all my money. I mean, that was a good idea with the DLC, and I said it already previously in the comments. I think that's something that would work very well for a lot of gamers, that if you want to include something in the game that might not be so popular or might be technically a little bit controversial, why not make it a DLC? I think we had something, let's say, similar in the Mass Effect 2. If you think about it, we had Kasumi and Zaid as optional characters which came through a DLC. You didn't have to play the DLC, and the game would still have been the same. It would have been still the same outcome. Yes, you would not have this additional content, but also if you didn't want to deal with those, let's say, additional characters, and for whatever reason you decided you don't like them, you just simply didn't install the DLC, and that was it. And I think this way it would work also for many other, let's say, characters or features in a game, where if you would put it as an optional content via a DLC that you can or cannot install, as long as it's not impacting your game negatively. In this case, what I mean is, if you don't install it, you will not be, let's say, punished in game in a certain way that, I don't know, you will be missing a character that's important for conclusion of a quest or something. As long as you don't have these negative effects, and as long as you like really can decide yourself if you want to have this additional content and have these characters and these features in your game or not, that's the best way how to do it. First of all, the studio would technically make more money, let's be honest. And on the other side, people could decide, I don't want this nonsense in my game, or I don't want this character in my game, and they could just play it without this character or this content, and they would be happy and they would still get a complete game and a good experience. And I think that would be a good way how to solve the situation, at least currently in the last few years. Game studios should have done that. So I believe this idea with the DLC content, when you've mentioned it's actually a good idea. And I'm wondering why so many people are not talking about it more, and why the studios are not incorporating it more in their games. Let me take a drink because I'm talking a lot. Okay, and I can see John is here. Hey, John. Hey, I'm late again. You haven't missed so much. Yeah. we did talk a lot about Mafia: The Old Country, the ending, and the Game Awards. But yeah, you can review the start of the stream later. Snake is saying, yeah, I go back to my first comment. If they just make a game from 99% of the people, yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so there's extra stuff as DLC. Gamers love making mods. I don't know why they just do DLC from jump. And John is saying mods are best way to have niche content. And that's also additionally something where I think I I think the modders and the mods, that's like a separate community on its own already by now, and people love to mod their games if they have the opportunity. But at the same time, I don't think that modders should be substituting the work of the game developers. And I think with Mass Effect 3, again, that's like my comeback with to the Mass Effect series, but it's just such a good example for so many things. With Mass Effect 3, the ending, the botched ending, for me, botched for sure. And that's what I'm saying, and I said it already a couple of times, I am not replaying the game ever again without the happy ending mod. So basically, even though I said previously with the Mafia, the Old Country, that not every story has to have a happy ending, with Shepard, I really believed that the, let's say, dying part was undeserved on Shepard's story. And I really found it and let's say botched this ending in so many other ways as well. Like there was so many illogical things, very similar to what I said just about Mafia. I think the modders did a good job in creating this happy ending mod, and I think that's why it was so appreciated, and so many people have downloaded it and played it, because that was something that they would just wish to have as an option in the game. So it would have been nice to have in the game like multiple endings, and I'm talking about real endings, not just like 3 different colors, okay? And one of them could have been, let's say, this happy ending, and that's what the devs have missed, and the modders had to fix. And if you think about it, this happy ending mod was quite an extensive mod, actually. It's really a big mod, which is changing a lot of the parts on the ending, and technically changing the entire ending as such. And I just find it a pity that people or the gamers or the modders have to do it themselves, what the game devs have missed to do in the original game. And that's not something that the modding should be for. So it shouldn't be there for fixing stuff that's not working in a game. So that's what I mean, you know? Mods are great if you have like some additions or certain small changes, and you can play around with it and install different mods and get the different features, and it's like playing a completely different game sometimes, but it shouldn't substitute the work of the devs. So that's my opinion on that. Olivia is saying Mass Effect is the exception. Snake is saying, sorry, I wasn't trying to apply that the models to do the job. I was trying to apply that these modders, that these people should take a hint from the modders and make it a feature, not a bug. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like I said, it's something where I wish the game developers would listen more to the feedback while they are creating a game. And again, this is something where we have seen it go south in the last few years, quite a few times, where the people that have been able to, let's say, give some feedback on the game have been very specifically chosen. It was just a handful of people, and they were, even though they gave some feedback, not necessarily the studio was listening to it. And I missed the time, and I think it was also in one of the comments which I have read online. I missed the time when we had like demos and could like play a demo, and based on the feedback to the demo, the game devs were still like tweaking and adjusting the game. And I think there's nothing better than if you allow the gamers to play a certain portion of the game, even if it's unfinished, but at least like with the main features, to give you some feedback, and then you can do something about it. But just releasing the game saying, well, this is what you get and that's it, and then botching some stuff and not even trying to fix it and leaving it up to the gaming community to fix it, it's not the path forward, right? Yeah. But let me check what else do I have. Let me switch again a little bit. And oh yeah, we have something funny. I'm not sure if you have like noticed it. Let me go through this. Okay, so I had a good laugh because I know I said I'm not going to talk about the game anymore so much. I don't want to be like completely negative all the time whenever I mention it, but it's just so ridiculously awful that I have to. And I'm sure you know it's Failguard by now. So I have seen this post, which was saying that the Failguard is on the PS5 for $9.99 on Amazon. And then also the deluxe edition for PS5 is on Best Buy for $10. So yeah, and on Steam, I was just checking, and on Steam is like it's 65% off, so it's for like 21 euros. And the deluxe version is for 32 euros. And I think most of the people I have seen like replying to this, whether it was like here on Steam or on X, were saying like, hey, you would have to pay me to play the game. Yes, so I ordered the game from Best Buy just to cancel with the reason price too high. Okay, I think that says it all right, so yeah, it's they just can't get rid of this thing. They are just trying to offer it already for such a ridiculous amount. And I think it's also mentioned on Steam, like it's if you, yeah, it's part of the EA Play. So if you have EA Play, it's just included there for $5.99 a month. Yes. So nobody wants this crap. Yes. Okay, let me go back to watch what you're writing. Olivia is saying a game should be a complete game story when it comes out. They should understand their core audience too. I think most of them do not at this point, at least not the big corporate studios anymore. Like seriously, the game developers that have been there from the start and who have created originally these first few successful games, those were people who were like passionate about games and passionate about their project. And over time, as the companies grew and then were incorporated into some corporation, it just, I think somebody expressed it so nicely, it's like they lost their soul, because those people, those creative minds have left this corporate culture. Let me put it this way: it's a non-culture technically, but the corporate culture is just technically killing off creativity, to be honest. So then many people have left, and then if you have the people who are passionate about games leaving the studio and no longer working on developing the new games, then you have some corporate people there who are taking care of it, and those have absolutely like no relation to the games. They are not really passionate about the games. They just see oftentimes just numbers and don't really care about the game as such, or the franchise that was created, the universe or whatever, and that's exactly how it ends. So basically whoever comes along gets hired to work on a game they maybe not even like. And that's what it looks like, yeah. John is saying Failguard is addicted to stomping on rakes. Yes, exactly. I mean, I'm wondering how long are they going to try to sell the game for like this ridiculous price, and when it comes to the point when they will just give it away for free. And then I'm sure there will be a point where they will just stop offering it at all. And Snake is saying happy ending. I mean, not happens anymore. Yeah, that's also another thing. Like this time, in these last few years, I have a feeling that many games, especially RPGs, are trying to be like so. Very serious, and oftentimes you don't get this kind of happy ending, or on the other hand, then when you have some kind of happy ending, it's kind of very cheesy, so it's not really well written. I don't know. I mean, in general, I'm really hoping that some newer games we see a little change in those new games, like The Expanse and maybe like Exodus, and we really see, and Dawnwalker, we will see again smaller studios and newer studios with passionate people working on the game. So I hope that the outcome will be better than Failguard. And Olivia is saying there's a reason I only get like from 1 up to 3 brand new games a year. It really takes something that is unique or impressive to sell me on it. I usually wait until games are on sale. It is the same with me already, to be honest. It's not even a question of money anymore. Like, even though I'm really not so happy to seeing the prices going up for a specific game, but hey, if the game is good and there's great feedback and good reviews, then I usually do buy the game. But like you are saying, it really takes something special for the game to have an impact on me and to make me interested so much that I'm going to buy it immediately. Otherwise, I'm just really waiting for sales as well, to be honest. Yeah, it's so many. There's so many games coming out every year. And my wish list is long, but there's always something in those games where, and you get the feedback and you get the reviews, where it's not always so great. So there's always little things and details that are just not working well, whether it's like some bugs or maybe some performance or story-wise or whatever. But yeah, sale makes sense these days, I will be honest. And if the games will increase in pricing, then even more so. I did buy, for example, Mafia: The Old Country. It was, after a long time, one of the few games that I did pre-order, and I wasn't sorry to pre-order it for the 50 euros that it cost, because it was really a good game and I really liked it. Like I said, there was the ending where I had my beef with it, but not necessarily like story-wise, but just, the execution was maybe so great. But aside from that, we are talking maybe, I don't know, about 30 minutes from a game that lasts for me a couple dozen hours. So I did take my time. And the exploration mode especially is something that allows you to roam around freely without like some time pressure. So you can spend a lot of time with the game and you can enjoy it. And I'm not going to like be unhappy just because of a small portion of the game. So for me, I am happy with that. But when I see other games that are like planned to be released and we already know the pricing, I don't know, 007 First Light, for example, and it will be $70 or 70 euros. And it's a normal price, I would say. Okay, many other games are costing 70 as well these days. But what makes me wary is what I have made just a bit about this approach from the studio, where they just want to like have positive feedback and positive marketing, and that is making that is giving me the impression that they are trying to hide something. And then it becomes not a game that I would pre-order. I will wait until it's out. And that's one of the little details where you see something like this with multiple other games as well. So you kind of learn to be wary. So I completely understand you that you are waiting for the sale just as I am. Yeah. And Weeps is saying Failguard completes with Avowed. Read Avowed. Is Avowed so bad? I don't know. I mean, is it really on the Failguard level? Because I heard some feedback already, but I'm not sure if it's on the same bad level as Failguard, to be honest. I haven't played it, so I cannot judge, to be honest. And John is saying, nothing is interesting for me lately. I am looking forward to Guild Wars update. I think many people are just like kind of looking already at specific franchises which they are used to, and where there is like no negative publicity so far, and they are just hoping for these games to work out and be good. But for most of the other games, people are really wary, unless it's like an indie studio or an indie game or AA, and from time to time you get something fantastic like Clair Obscur, and people are super happy about this game coming out. But it also tells you, I mean, the And also, what was this Hollow Knight Silk Song? So I have seen people playing it who are not necessarily fond of this kind of, let's say, platformers. And they were happy about this game and they were really praising it simply because they are so fed up with the other games. So it's like whenever a game comes out that is good, people are already so happy and they are going to play it even if it's normally a genre they wouldn't play, just because it's finally a good game amongst the cesspool of really bad games that we are getting lately. So yeah. And John is saying, wow, this just slop. Failguard is legendary slop. Okay. Legendary slop. Okay, I have to remember that one. And Olivia says, I think gamers are so used to disappointment, they feel checked out. Exactly. Yeah, like I say, that's exactly the point when you finally get a good game that everybody's like, oh my God, a fantastic new game. And everybody just jumps on it regardless of the genre, simply because finally a good game, like I said, in the cesspool of the really bad games. So yeah, definitely that's something where it's understandable that people are also waiting with the pre-orders. And I am wondering, because for GTA 6, they did delay it now. I think it's delayed until, 27? Not even sure. I am not really following up on that one, but I think it was like quite a big delay that they announced. And if you remember, they said at the beginning of the year, or was it last year? In the beginning of the year, I think they said that the game will probably cost around like $100. And I was like, hell no. So if you start to price games at that price range, like $100 for a game, then I'm out. Like seriously, I will not buy new games under these conditions. It's just a big no for me. And that is another point where I say, okay, yeah, people will just not spend the money, and they will really, you will see even more people waiting for sales. And then, of course, naturally, the companies will complain that they have bad sales numbers and they will be forced to go on sale with the game. So, yeah, but we speak with our wallets. So let's think about that. And Vips is saying, I'm back to the Stalker 2. Oh, is it good? Is it good? Let me know. And John is saying 11,000 hours in Guild Wars myself. Oh my goodness. Okay. Respect. as all I can say. Respect. Wow. 11,000 hours. And Vips is saying Dawnwalker before GTA 6. Yeah. And Snake, games are so bad right now. 2D games are more popular than some of these $70 games. Exactly. Yeah. Let me check the next topic. I have quite a few, as I said, but if you don't mind, I will clean my nose because it's currently getting full. It's the time again. It's winter, unfortunately. So let me just check out for a minute and I will be back right away. Okay, I'm back. Thank you very much for waiting. As you can see, my nose is a little bit red. Sorry. And Olivia is saying, GTA is going to be delayed forever at this point. They said November of 26. Oh, okay, so I didn't remember that. We will see. I will not spend $70 for games. Recently played Dispatch, cost me $30, worth every penny. I heard already very positive feedback for Dispatch. Yeah, I think $30, It's one of the things which I have mentioned already previously, I think last year. I rather buy 2 free games for a lower price, and I am able to buy 2 free games for a lower price, and then also the studios get, let's say, more sales if people are able to buy games for a lower price and can buy more than if you only can buy, I don't know, 1 or 2 games a year because simply the budget isn't there. And then, of course, people will struggle, the studios will struggle, and they will not have the sales as they expected. So I think it's time that they started to like tone down a little bit the production costs. That plays a big role in that pricing, I think. And yeah, I think something like Dispatch will be more and more common, that people are enjoying playing such games more than some $70 game. Yeah. And John is saying, I bought my son Escape from Daco. He loves it. Yeah, you mentioned that already. I have seen some vids from it, and I just had a good laugh. It looks like really a lot of fun. I will have to look at it, probably play it then as well. I think it's a game that also like mentioned by a lot of people already recently. That is really worth buying and playing. And Snake is saying $100 a game. I think I've had to pay people to do real life reactions to the games I like LOL. Yeah, that will be more and more common as well, that not so many people are going to buy the games. Only a couple of people will be doing that. Then they play them on a stream or show them in a vid, and then people will be able to decide based on that whether they want to buy it or not. And some people will just simply watch the playthroughs, all the streams, and they will just not buy it. So yeah, it's I think with this pricing, the game studios are just shooting themselves in the foot. People will not be able to afford that. And Snake is saying, tone down production cost. By production, do you mean all those people they pay off? Yeah, you mean the millionaire CEOs, yeah? That's one of the things, yeah. But in general, I think to me, it's always surprising. Like when I see a game cost, I don't know, $200 million. Like, come on, what the hell are you doing with $200 million? In order to make a good game, you don't need so many people. You don't. I don't care if it's like somewhere in the background, I don't know, some accountants. Or if it's like developers that are really working actually on the game. You don't need so many people. You don't need to spend so much cost, to be honest. Like seriously. And then yeah, of course the CEOs that get these nice $1 million paid out every year. Yeah, by the end of the year. Yeah. Or paying all these people so much power they don't deserve. Yeah, and Olivia is saying they forget about quality over quantity. This is also important. I don't mind actually waiting for a game for some time. And when I know that the game will have a certain quality and will not cost the world. And we used to get this in the past, right? But now these days you are waiting for a game for a decade. Again, we're back at Failguard. You're waiting for a game for a decade. What you get is some slop. Yes, very nicely polished, fantastically looking slop, which is really badly written. And I think the money that they have invested in that game was invested into the wrong spots. They should have invested more in good writing than, in some activists. Let me put it that way. And Weeps is saying, if GTA will be phenomenally made like back in the days of RDR2, then people will actually pay almost $100 for it, myself included. Yes, if you have let's say 1 or 2 games a year that you really want to buy, and those will cost a lot of money, probably people will just go with it and buy it. But then you have only a certain budget. Everybody has only a certain budget, and they will not buy then 3, 4, 5, 6 games. They will only buy 1 or 2. Again, that's something where I think the studios will in the end shoot themselves in the foot. I I don't mind paying for a game $70-$80, but then I know that I will not be able to buy for a certain time period another game because simply I just use the budget that I have, so, and many people will be feeling it, these increased prices, yeah. And Snake is saying, yeah, 1000%, Olivia, that was regarding the quality over quantity. I mean, if you think about it, Helldivers get by with bubblegum and duct tape. Duct tape, yes. Let me check the next topic that I have. Yeah, that was Failguard. Oh, yeah, for the nerds, as I mentioned, I don't know if you have noticed or if you have heard, in case you are a sci-fi fan and not necessarily games, but series, for the Stargate fans here, there was an announcement, I think last week, that a new Stargate series is coming. And I was at first, I was super happy, and on Discord, on the same server where Veeps is, for example, as well, I was super happy and I was expressing my joy, hey, they want to include the original writers and producers. And I think it will be then a good series, even though it's produced by Amazon. But as I said already previously, with Amazon, it's kind of like a 50-50. Sometimes you are getting something really great, a good adaptation, and sometimes you get something really shitty. And with Stargate, I was very hopeful. Then I was noticing one thing, and I have to share it on the screen. And I will scroll down a little bit to show you what I mean. Okay, let me switch the screen. But before I do that, oh, there's quite a bit going on in the chat right now. Yeah, Snake is saying if they can make GTA just an open world, no political stuff, and you can do whatever you want, like the first one, it would be a great game. Agreed. And then also, or Black Ops comes out almost every year. Look how trash it is. Yeah, that's to the point. Quality over quantity. Yeah. And John is saying, "Oh well, they will wreck Stargate." Let me show you on the screen, because like I said, I was at first very hopeful because the original people were promised to come back, and then I have seen something. So basically this is the announcement from Gate World, which is always informing people about everything that's going on in Stargate and the Stargate franchise. And then I started to read through the post here, and I came to one thing. I'm sure you have recognized some of the faces here, and especially Brad Wright and Joe Malozzi, who were originally writing and producing the previous series. And then I am noticing one little thing. Where is it? Okay. So they will be only consulting producers, and that's where my hopes and dreams have died. I will be honest. Let me take a drink, but this is not looking so great anymore after reading this consulting producer. So if they would be actively involved, then yeah, you would be able to say, okay, we're going to get a good quality. But they will be only consulting producers, which still for me means that they can be completely ignored in whatever they say. The actual producers and Amazon can just decide to completely ignore them. And that's when we will get the same kind of trash like Rings of Poop, for example. So when I've seen this, I was sad, to be honest. So that's regarding Malozzi, and I think that was also mentioned here for Brad Wright somewhere in the upper part, that he will be only a consulting producer. So okay, yeah. So the original people who have been working on the series and who gave me originally hope that it will go well. Nah. So again, something where I'm a little bit sad. And I agree with you. John is probably going to end up not so well. And Snake is saying, I'm so scared of going to... that they are going to mess up Stargate. Sorry, I'm not going to read it. Let's not tempt YouTube's content moderation here. Like they did Halo in Master Chief, yes. And remember how they kicked off that one actor on The Witcher who is the only one who paled about the game when it came to the... I mean, yes, the problem is that they had people involved in the series now, in considering the Witcher series on Netflix, like Henry Cavill, who was a fan of the books and also the games, although they already have, let's say, a slightly deviating canon, but he was like this nerd who really loved the setting of the universe, and he really tried to like stick to the canon of the universe. And then, of course, naturally, Netflix did make a completely different show and changed basically whatever they could, and not to a better series, but to a worse series. And people were unhappy, and that's when he left. And I think that was like, some people say he was kicked out, some people say he left. I think the truth will be somewhere in the middle. I don't think he wanted to be involved anymore in something like this. I am afraid that every time we are going to see something produced by Amazon, by Netflix, by some of these streaming services, and I'm not even talking about Disney, because that's horrible, it will not be as people are hoping and expecting, and especially when you see this kind of information, like the original people who have been working on the original series and were basically guaranteeing a certain quality, are just there as consultants. Nah, it's not going to end well, unfortunately. I don't care what it is if I hear I'm putting a model spin on something I love it, I check it out. Okay. And John, a Stargate travel will turn all the frogs gay. I mean, I am probably one of the few people who actually will tell you that they liked Stargate Universe better than the original series. I know most people who are like Stargate fans will absolutely hate me for saying that, but I just can't help myself. I did love the Stargate Universe series or part of Stargate really a lot. I think they have chosen the actors very well. The characters were really well written. The story was very intriguing. Like they were trying to figure out what and how to do on that ship, and they were just slowly unlocking it over time and figuring out the stuff. The story started to deviate into certain, let's say, ways where I didn't really appreciate it, like this body swapping. I found it just kind of weird. It wasn't anymore like this really grounded based sci-fi model that I fell in love with in the beginning of the Stargate Universe series. And it just started to deviate somewhere into the realm of fantasy, which I'm not so fond of when it gets mixed into sci-fi. I love fantasy and I love sci-fi, but I just don't really like to mix them, to be honest. So I didn't really appreciate certain things that happened in Stargate Universe, but in general, I really loved the series. And I was just so unhappy that it ended on such a cliffhanger. I don't know if you have been following up on that, but basically as they were traveling with the ship Destiny across the Milky Way, and they were just jumping from one habitable planet to another, and in the meantime, the ship was like refueling more and more. They realized that they will just jump into like intergalactic space, and the ship is on its road to the next galaxy, and then it will leave the Milky Way, and for a long time they will be traveling. And they realized that they don't have like the necessary resources on board to let's say stay awake for the journey. It wasn't so long. I think it was said it was like 2 or 3 years, but they just didn't have the option to let's say restock. They didn't have the resources, so they were basically forced to go into these sleeping pods and sleep throughout the journey. And they had like one less. And one of the guys there volunteered to like stay awake and stay on the ship and trying to figure out one of the damaged sleeping pods, if he can repair it and then go inside himself. But the rest of the people went into the sleeping pods, and basically the ship just jumped out of the Milky Way. And that was the end of that particular season. And the next season, we were supposed to get to know what happened to the characters, and they just ended the show and they canceled it. And it was just such a cliffhanger, and I was so unhappy about it. I was really hoping that they would at least like wrap it up, maybe in some movie, or I don't know, some separate new season or something. So when I heard, okay, there's something new planned for the Stargate franchise, I was hoping that they will maybe do some kind of like wrap up for this. Maybe it will be just mentioned somewhere by the new characters that this is what happened to that ship and to those people. I don't know, but I found it quite sad that they did cancel it, to be honest. And Weeps is saying, good night to you all. I need to go. Okay, bye Weeps, bye. And thank you for being on the stream. I was really happy to have you here. So thank you. And John is saying parts of Atlantis were good. I'm not saying it wasn't that I didn't like it. I did like Stargate, like as the whole franchise, the idea, and I fell in love with it immediately after I've seen the pilot movie. The first one when it came out, so that was really something that caught my interest, and then I was watching everything basically that came out. But I have to say I liked Stargate Universe. Probably after the initial movie, Stargate Universe was more appreciated from me than the rest of the franchise. And Snake is saying, I don't know if I love it more, but Stargate Universe, what's its own thing? So was its own thing. Yes, I agree, and I loved it. I never tried to compare because it's separate. Yeah, that's the point. Like, I think that was also one of the things which I didn't really like so much, honestly, on the Stargate Universe, like the series. They were forcefully trying to incorporate back some of the characters from the previous seasons and the previous parts of the franchise, and it wasn't necessarily like working out so well. So I do understand that they wanted to bring back some familiar faces, but like you're saying, it was like something separate, and that's why I appreciated it. It was a completely like different new story, still within the same universe, still with the same, let's say, logic in universe logic, but it was a little bit different, and that's what I liked. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't really like this mixing of the characters in from the previous parts of the franchise, yeah, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let me check. What else do I have? Let me skip again. And the Dawnwalker gameplay. I know, John, you're not so fond of the Dawnwalker. No worries, I'm not going to like show anything. I just wanted to mention that they were showing the Dawnwalker gameplay from the studio. So the Rebel Wolves have made a new video with some more gameplay, and I have to say, what I did appreciate was that the gameplay now looks more polished. So that was something that the people were complaining originally when they were releasing the first trailer, that, I don't know, the facial expressions, or when they have been showing the first gameplay, that it doesn't really look so polished, and it doesn't look so so good. And my point was, and I keep on coming back to that, they are a new studio. They will not have that big of a budget like some huge, rather well-known studio like CDPR, for example, from which they are coming from. And I think for the size of the studio and for their, let's say, limited options and budget and resources, they did a really good job. And you can see clearly when you compare this current gameplay trailer with the previous trailer for the gameplay, that they did work on the game quite a lot and they did polish a lot of the things. I also did appreciate the accompanying commentary on that gameplay vid. There was a lady who was basically providing some additional information on what you are seeing on screen and explain what kind of options you will have in the game. And I think that one was great because you've got a lot of new information this way. And you can also, again, see more of the differences, how the gameplay is during the day and during the night, because I think that's like the big difference here in this game. And also one of the things which I have mentioned already previously, it will, I believe, contribute a lot to the replayability, because you can choose to do certain quests in one way or the other, and you can either choose to do them during the day or during the night. And if you want to, let's say, go back, because the clock is ticking, you have these 30 days and 30 nights, and some of the quests are just moving the clock forward, so you cannot really like go back and just repeat it just like that. So you have the option then to change your mind during a replay. And I believe they are like doing the right thing. They are bringing more options to the players in terms of how to enjoy the game, how to experience it. And you get sometimes really completely different information, whether you are playing it during the day or during the night. They have shown it on one quest. And I think that one was very important to see, because it really gives you a good idea of what to expect from the game. So I just wanted to highlight that the gameplay trailer was for me very interesting, and if you are interested in the game, I would definitely advise you to check it out. And okay, let me see what else I have in the YouTube. Wonderful topic again. I did make a post about it, and I did make a couple of vids about it already, but just to give you a brief summary again. What happened with YouTube, and it does have an impact also on just let's say just the viewers. If people are saying, well, if something is impacting the creators, I don't really care, but it is affecting the viewers as well. So just FYI. They did make some changes. They are more and more relying on AI and AI moderation, AI tools, and AI algorithm, and everything AI. And they had in the middle of August quite a big change on the algorithm and on how the restricted mode works. I did already explain it a little bit. So basically, certain things are now automatically restricted, and certain users are automatically in the restricted mode. So they said, even though they said that they are not rolling it out like automatically for the users, some people already have mentioned that they just realized that they have this automatically turned on instead of turned off, and they had to like manually reset it. And I believe it was done for those users where the YouTube AI wasn't so sure if those people are above or below 18, or if they are adult, let me put it that way. And for some of these people, that's why they had it automatically turned on. So of course, you can manually reset it, and etc. From a creator's perspective, what is crap is that if you make a vid that is for example, gameplay or a playthrough, it gets automatically restricted. It gets into the restricted mode. And they were saying, well, no, they are only doing it for like games where you have like violence and blood and everything. which I countered, at least in my vid, if you have noticed it, it's nonsense, because I have made a playthrough of Nelly Kutalod. It's a great example. It's a game that's like for kids above 9 years old. I didn't like swear in the vid. I didn't like say anything bad. I was just playing the game, having fun, and I posted the playthrough, and it is restricted, age restricted, which for me is... I don't even want to go there, so for me it's absolute nonsense. So you never know what gets restricted. Also from the posts, when I was looking at posts, which posts are age restricted and which are not, I did not find any feasible like distinguishing mark why some are not and why some are in the restricted mode. I have no clue. So it seems to be absolutely random, which just proves basically that the AI tools are not really working so well, at least not as intended. And they made a change in this restricted mode. What vids get restricted, they made a change in the algorithm. And now what's happening lately is that a ton of channels is being simply like deleted. They vanish overnight. On the spot, before I show you what's going on, in case my channel should suddenly disappear, it wasn't my doing. I'm going to tell you right away. I am enjoying working on this channel. Like I said already a couple of times, this is my hobby and I really enjoy it. It's a very nice creative thing for me to do, and that's one of the things. And the other one is the connection with you. That's why I'm also doing these streams, which I'm enjoying. So I really want to get in touch with the people, with other gamers, and just discuss the games. So I would never just simply delete my channel without saying anything or whatever. There have been channels disappearing overnight. So just FYI, in case mine is suddenly gone, it's not me, it's YouTube. So I'm going to show you, but I just noticed something. Louis is here, who says, "Hi, Sisa, I hope you're doing great." Hey, Louis, I have one question. I'm sure you already know. Have you already played Mass Effect? I did promise, Snackish, that I'm going to ask you and that I'm going to bother you. You have to play Mass Effect. If you don't, we will just bother you until you do. Okay, but nice to see you here. Just wishing you a very nice evening, and really great that you are here. I was already saying it in the beginning. I hope you will be able to join, not just because of Mass Effect. Yeah, Snake is saying, yeah, they love to hide my jokes, like they're hiding my happy ending mode joke. I mean, that's also another thing. YouTube is sometimes like hiding certain comments, and how I know is that I am getting emails. I'm getting first of all, on YouTube, I can see a notification pop up. So I can see in the notification that somebody wrote, for example, a comment. But if it's too long, I can only see like the start of it. And I get an email with the notification, and most of the time the whole comment is there. So I can read the comment, but for some reason YouTube sometimes hides it, and from time to time I can still like find it in YouTube Studio, which is on my part visible, and I can still decide if I want to like make it public, the comment, or if I just want to like delete it or hide it myself. Normally I just make it public. I don't see a reason why to hide it unless it's like really a comment which is like not really so great. Let me go into that detail a little bit later. But normally I allow comments as they are. I don't mind if somebody is like using here and there some swear word. I mean, we're adults, come on, so I don't really mind that. And as long as people are like not doing some self-promotion or something, then I don't really mind. I enjoy the interaction, even if somebody has like a different opinion. So I don't really care. But YouTube for whatever reason decides sometimes to hide comments which you have no idea why they are hidden. There's like completely normal sentence with including normal words, and it's just hidden. it's blocked and it's hidden, and I have to like unblock it in YouTube Studio to make it public. And sometimes the comment completely disappears. And I think we had with I'm not sure if it was, I think it was Gaming Birch. We had some discussion outside of YouTube, also on X, and then also he posted some comments on some of my vids, and some were not visible. And he was asking me like if there's a problem, maybe he should revert something. And I was like, no, I don't see any comment. What's the problem? Like, what did you post? So he like copied for me what he posted. And I was wondering, because it was like completely normal sentence. There wasn't anything, like not even a single word that you could be like saying this is a word that probably might trigger some, YouTube AI moderation tool. Nothing. It was the same like if you would say, okay, the grass is green and the sky is blue. And for whatever reason, the comment completely disappeared. So the AI content moderation or the comments moderation from YouTube is also not working well, because sometimes completely normal comments just disappear without either the user or me doing anything. They just disappear. They are gone. And sometimes I can still see it in the emails and the notifications that I'm getting, so I can see that there is no reason why it would disappear. And sometimes I don't even get a notification. They're just gone. And unless the person reaches out to me like via X or Discord or whatever, I don't even know that they've posted something. So this is again just proof that something in the background in YouTube is not working well, and those AI tools are just wreaking havoc on whatever part of YouTube there is, So again, on this pod also from my side, in case you don't see a comment popping up, it's not necessarily me. I do have certain words blocked, but those words are like promotion, and stuff like this. So I do have these kind of words like blocked, which is like I said promotion for somebody else, for example. But aside from that, I don't really have like any blocking content that would be blocked. I just accept everything. The only thing that I think is automatically hidden and I have to unlock it is if you are posting a link. So I think we had it with Louis and I think also with Gaming Birch. I think there was also somebody else who sometimes I think Sekula also told me that there is a link which is an interesting vid, and that link got stopped in the YouTube Studio. But again, at least I could see it in the YouTube Studio. I could watch that link and then I could decide whether I want to make it public in my comment section or not. Now, sometimes the stuff just disappears without any doing. So not good. It's not a good evolution on YouTube, what YouTube's currently doing, to be honest. And yeah, I can see that there's a discussion. So Louis, happy Thanksgiving. Oh my God, I completely forgot. John, apologies. Happy Thanksgiving. And also to everyone in the US, I completely forgot. We don't have it here, so I didn't even cross my mind that it's Thanksgiving. So guys, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a very nice time with your families. And sorry. Could have said it at the start, but hopefully you can still enjoy the long weekend. Eloise is saying, consider myself bothered. Sorry, I can't really hang out much today, but I thought I'd check in if you're still streaming. Yes, many topics. And Snake is saying, yes, Lois plays play Mass Effect, become one of us. Thank you, Snake. Okay. If you join my presence unit therapy, that's from Snake. And John is saying, Thanksgiving was okay. I have an empty nest, so dinner was pork loin and fried rice. Lol, that's not exactly the typical one, right? And Snake says, to be fair, when they hide my jokes, it's to protect the public from me. It was weird. Like half of my comments on that thread was hidden, but the other half everyone could see. Lol. Yeah, that's from Snake. That's exactly then also the point where it doesn't really make much sense. Like when you are reading through a comment thread and half of the comments is missing because YouTube has decided to hide them for whatever reason, then you are seeing people talking about something, we are missing half the context, and it just makes no sense. So it's kind of awful. And oh my God, to my surprise, we have Carly here. Guys, Carly sits in Australia, so for you, it's already the next day, and she says, good morning. So good morning to Australia. Hey, that's nice to see you here. I didn't think that you will be joining, so that's great. And yeah, Louis is saying, yes, grumble. Okay, Mass Effect, Louis, Mass Effect, we have to play. Carly, please tell Louis that he has to play Mass Effect. Come join us. Okay, back to what YouTube is doing. So on top of everything that went south so far since mid-August, they are currently doing another thing. Let me just switch the screens so we are able to see that, and I am going to show you. So as you can see, and this is just one example out of many. There's a person who says, YouTube is now letting AI decide who gets to stay on the platform. This isn't speculation. Millions of channels have been terminated under automated spam deceptive practices, scam enforcement in the past few months alone. Now, to explain, just FYI, one of the rules that you cannot break is this spam or scam or deceptive practices. So if you make a vid about, I don't know, go buy this kind of product, it's awesome, and for me it was working well, and it's some kind of scam, then you are breaking the rules, right? Or if you are creating, I don't know, 100 videos a day, which some people already pointed out that there are plenty of AI channels which are doing just that. So we're creating 100 videos a day and just posting 100 videos per day and just basically flooding your channel and YouTube with some AI slop. It's basically spam. It's considered to be spam. Or if you are a person even like who's reposting one and the same stuff. So let's say I would create a video about a certain topic that would last an hour, and then I would create half an hour vid from that video and just repost it again. And then I would make 5 shorts, again, just from the same topic, keep on using the same content for more vids. Then it would be, again, also considered spamming, like spamming YouTube. And normally what should happen, and I think that's also how it was, I'm not sure if it hasn't changed, but originally it was written in the guidelines and policies that they will like give you a warning. They will tell you, okay, you need to stop with this, and then basically they give you like a strike on your channel, and you either have to change that or you have to count with it that you will be either first demonetized and then later the channel deleted, or your channel will be then deleted immediately if you don't like heed these kind of warnings. The problem here is, like I said, those warnings. The AI automated systems currently like do not provide any warning, and it seems to be very random whom they are choosing to hit with these spam deceptive practices and scam, because there have been people who have, for example, like tech channels who are having guides like how to, I don't know, how to fix a feature on Windows 10, let's say. And they've been hit with this like spam, scam, deceptive practices, like tech channels, and they have never done anything wrong. And instead of getting a warning, a strike or whatever, they are overnight deleted. And that's what happened to millions of channels. And I'm not joking, it's really millions. I will show you the screenshot, but this is a good example where the person is writing, so like even the appeals are being handled by automation in many cases. So even when people do appeal the decision, they are just like within a minute getting a response which is saying, we have carefully reviewed your entire channel, like in a minute or 5, a channel that had like, I don't know, hundreds of videos, and our decision like stays, which is a clear lie. You know, And this is happening to many, many people. As you can see on the screen, this is just one of them. Then there was another one who was like, again, falsely terminated because of spam, you know, and the person is just writing like they had more channels, but the channels were like for different content. They were like the person was not reusing the same content. So what I can see is it's simply oftentimes people who have more channels, and even if they have each channel dedicated to something completely different, and they have never broken any rules, they are being terminated overnight. And not just one channel, like the whole user in technical terms, everything. So if you had 10 channels are gone overnight. And that's absolutely crazy. There are people who have spent like years on working on those channels and they are gone overnight. And it's just more and more and more. And then on top of that, even if you are like complaining about it on X, which is probably the like most useful way how to actually reach even somebody at YouTube currently these days, unfortunately, you have to complain on X or Twitter. And if many people are joining in, then actually you get some kind of response. But what they started to do is, and I find it like that's the top, that's the audacity for me. Hey there, human here. And then it was created with an AI. And there was also immediately, it was like community noted that this post was not created by a human. So it's absolutely bad how they are reacting to this whole situation. People have been talking about it left and right, bigger channels. I think the one that's covering it the best, like what's currently going on and what YouTube is or is not doing what they should be. So they are not doing what they should and they are instead doing what they shouldn't, let me put it that way, is Deep Humor. And he really has a lot of the bits about like YouTube and what's currently going on. And as you can see, it's basically the AI, the wrong working AI behind YouTube is giving him so much stuff that he can do plenty of bits about it. And he's warning people what to do, what not to do, you know, how to appeal some stuff, you know, what's going on, what to like make sure that you don't do on your channel so that you don't get hit with this termination, even if it's like falsely flagged, etc. So he's doing a good job. And what I've also mentioned, and many people have said in the comments, is that yeah, if you don't like YouTube, then you know you can leave. Let's just leave the platform and let's go, for example, to Rumble. And I have experience with Rumble because I did start a channel there already quite some time ago. I think it's like 1.5 years by now. Because I just wanted to branch out and cover like more of the platforms which are feasible for long form vids. Because I am not necessarily a streamer. Yes, I do stream now once a month, but I'm primarily not a streamer. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to like use those platforms that allow for long form content and see if I can get not some new audience there and some more feedback and maybe, you know, some interaction there. And I have to say, unfortunately, maybe Rumble has started out as something that wanted to, you know, be an opposite of YouTube and allow more freedom and not so much, let's say, censorship, etc. And yeah, even if they started out as more concerned about politics, they did have a huge gaming community. And from the beginning, when I started, I did gain some like followers and I did gain some feedback, and it was nice to see the comments from the people. But over time, they started to focus more and more on streaming, and any long form vids were just pushed somewhere towards the back end of the algorithm. And currently, when you are thinking about gaming on Rumble, it's basically just streaming. So they've become Twitch number 2. That they're just a differently looking Twitch. But they no longer, let's say, promote or pay attention to long form videos which are not live streamed. And that's a shame. So for me, again, when I come back to this, there is no other opportunity to post this kind of vids as we are posting on YouTube, because there is no really an alternative platform. Even Rumble is just, again, for streamers, and I find it a pity. So from that perspective, yeah, it's a shame that it's not working. And unfortunately, it's not an option. Yeah. So let me go back to what you are writing, because I've noticed that there's a lot going on. So let me go back to that, and let me just go to this screen so you can see me and the cats in the background. Yeah, Carly is saying, I caught you, Chatty. Yes, I'm very happy that you are here. That's great to see you here. I hope you have a great morning. And also, you are having summer now. I'm very jealous right now. Like, I'm very, very super jealous. I'm pretty sure you have a nice warm weather over there. We have crap here. Olivia is saying, they recently changed the layout of everything on YouTube mobile too. I also feel like it gets harder and harder to find videos from people I sub to. That's something that they also like actively discontinued, let me put it that way. So why did people used to subscribe to a channel originally? Because they did like the content or the creator or how he was or she was presenting things. And that's why they subscribed, because they wanted to see more videos from that particular creator. And for a very long time on YouTube, it made sense, because then YouTube, of course, naturally provided you on your home feed the videos from, first and foremost, from the channels that you have been subscribed to. Now, in order to, let's say, give a chance to new, smaller channels, they discontinued this. And I do believe that they had like good intention, but again, bad execution, because what they should have done is not completely like discard videos from your from the channels that you are subscribed to, but just additionally maybe add some new stuff also on your like home feed, and maybe put there like you could be interested in these new channels. They are the same as what you are watching regularly from one of your channels to whom you are subscribed to, or something like this, like similar channels or something like that. And instead, they went like completely to the opposite direction, and now they like actively don't show you anything that you are subscribed to, and they show you like anything that's currently in. So for me, it means, and I have noticed it on my home feed, I was watching like a video, and then I refreshed the page, and suddenly I see a video about I think like how to. Like what to do on a cruise ship. And I was like staring at it like, what the hell is this thing doing on my feed? I was never even looking up the topic, never ever in my life. I'm not interested. I just don't care about like cruise ships, okay? I'm living in the middle of the continent. I don't care about cruise ships, And what is this thing doing here? And then I've noticed, okay, it had like, I don't know how many tens of thousands of views like just in 5 or 6 days. So probably YouTube thought it's such a great video that we are now going to offer it to everybody because it gets so many views. But people are just not interested in this topic, and they are now just offering you vids for completely irrelevant topics from channels you've never heard of. And I wouldn't mind if they would, for example, show me at least like, let's say, new gaming channels. Because that's how I did find some new gaming channels. I don't mind that. But don't show me topics from, stuff that I'm absolutely not interested in, like cruise ships. So it does make sense, and they are now just showing you complete nonsense. And half of the time when I'm staring at at my home feed, I think about it like, okay, imagine all these people that have actually created the videos. Now I see it from the perspective of a creator. They have made these videos. They are hoping that people will like their channel, they will like the video, they will like the topic. And then YouTube offers it to an audience that's absolutely not interested in this topic. And they will just click away. And your, like the ratio of, click, what is it, the CTR, the click-through rate or whatever it is. So how many times people, when they see it, actually click on the video, it will just get worse and worse and worse. So technically YouTube is not doing you a good service, because over time it will just create bad statistics for your videos, because you might have made a good video for a very interesting topic, but YouTube is just offering it to a completely irrelevant audience instead of just at least staying within this category. I don't know, gaming or entertainment or tech or however you want to, whatever category you think about. They just offer it to anyone, and it just doesn't make sense, and it just makes bad statistics for each of the creators. So in the end, it just completely backfires, to be honest. So it's not great. And for the viewers, I also have heard that even if you are subscribed to somebody, unless you like really push this bell icon, you won't even get a notification. So at least if you push this bell icon, at least like on the side of the screen, you will see, okay, yeah, there's something new for that particular channel that I'm subbed to. And you can then check it out and watch it. Or sometimes it even appears on your home feed. Not always. And if you don't push that bell icon, you don't even get the notification. So you don't even know that the creator might have created 10 videos in the meantime. And instead you are getting nonsense like how to board a cruise ship or something. So it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, the home feed is also not the greatest, yeah. And Lois is saying, no idea if it was mentioned, but rip to Udo Kier, the unforgettable Yuri on the Red Alert series. Yes, I heard the news. Yeah, I have noticed it. Unfortunately, many of the big renowned actors and actresses and singers, etc., have died recently, either this year or last year. Also for me, what was said was Tcheky Karyo. I'm not sure if you are familiar with him, but I really did like him whenever he was playing in a movie. And he might be more, let's say, commonly known to the French audience. But I really appreciated him when he was playing somewhere. I think he was mainly playing like villains or something like that. But where I really liked him, and it wasn't even a movie about him necessarily or with him or focused on humans, it was the movie The Bear. And if you haven't seen it, you have to. I mean, that is one hell of a movie. Watch it. Just like prepare the handkerchiefs, I can tell you that much, because I was bawling my eyes out in certain moments. So yeah, and he was playing there a small role, and I really think he nailed it. So yeah, many good actors have unfortunately died recently. Yeah. And yeah, Carly is saying this AI business is awful. Yeah, it's whether you are looking at it from the perspective of a viewer or a creator, it's not going well for either side. And if you are both, then you can see it from both sides. And I think that's when you notice like how bad it can be for either the viewers or the creators. And it's just, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to fix this or not. I think probably not, because they have laid off a couple of people in YouTube, and they have substituted them with even more AI. And the current AI tools are just not at a stage where we could be relying on them. I think they are doing currently not really a great service to anyone. And even aside from, let's say, subscriptions and home feed and stuff like that, I think what's even worse is now currently that the AI tools have the option to ban or delete entire channels. I think that is something that should never be done without a human oversight or human decision, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Let me before I continue with the chat, because I have noticed that you are writing a lot, which makes me happy actually. So thank you for being so active. But let me show you one more thing, and that was the number of the people which I have mentioned, like which is being banned. I'm not sure if I actually can see it somewhere, but I hope I didn't close the tab, because I had a tab open that AI was basically like deleting. Yeah, it's on the channel from Deep Humor. So let me maybe switch the screen and just show you. And you can see it here. It says you're next. You can see the vid here. And if you look at it, there is a like tool that pulls statistics from YouTube. And this is a statistic. I don't know if it was like for half a year or for a year, but almost 2.9 million channels have been removed from YouTube. Even if it's like across one entire year. Can you imagine the number? Like 2.9 million channels. I am pretty sure, yes, there were a lot of spam channels, a lot of AI channels, and a lot of nonsense, but I'm pretty sure not all of them, especially considering like all the people that are complaining. And this is just awful. Honestly, this is awful. 2.9 million channels removed without any single human oversight. That's terrible. So yeah, let me switch back. And let me just clean my nose again. So apologies. I will be back in just like 20-30 seconds. So give me some time. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. The time of the flu and the cold is here. Again, Carly, I envy you. Good. Let me go back to the chat. Yeah, Snake is saying, join the Mass Effect cult. Tali Zora is the only one. Okay, Snake, we will not agree on that one. I can tell you right away. I'm not exactly the biggest fan, but I can understand why somebody like her. Let me put it that way. But yeah, Mass Effect is the most important bit. You know what's crazy? Everyone loves the slop. Gives everyone the side eye. I know what you do when no one's around. No one wants to be forced to slop. And John is saying the historical AI slop is awful. Yeah, I agree on that one. Yeah. And Kali says, let me just scroll. Oh my God, guys, you're talking. I like it. I've seen loads of people on Twitter having their channels taken down. It's awful. I mean, it's worrying. Exactly. That's why I said also previously, I think it was before you joined. I'm not sure, or maybe you were already here. So just in case my channel should be gone overnight, suddenly it's not my doing. I'm definitely not planning on deleting my channel. So no. And just in case you're noticing something like moving behind me, yeah, that's the cats. I have several emails and therefore channels, but this is my main. Others have like 8 subs. Yeah. I was also thinking about like making a channel. I will be now honest. I was planning on making a channel like without anyone knowing, like me just commenting on what's currently going on in the world. Yes, this is a gaming channel here, but then there's a lot of stuff that's currently going on in the world where I just wanted to like talk about what kind of nonsense we are seeing. Not especially in a nice or positive way, just bashing the stuff that doesn't make sense. But I just don't have the time. So honestly, if you do have the time, kudos to you, respect. I have barely time to manage like one channel, so I scrapped that idea, at least for now, but maybe later when I'm retired. A grumpy old retired woman, then I will make this commentary channel. And Snake is saying, just don't become like Hassan on Twitch, but I got a feeling you love dogs too much to become like him. I'm not zapping my pets. That's all I'm going to say. And Kali is saying, we are coming into summer, but it's late. It's been raining a lot. But at least I think the rain you're currently getting is warm, not cold like we have now. And John is saying, first snowfall last night. We had as well, but it's already like 3, 4, 5 days ago. Or was it over the last weekend? I think so. Yeah, some like five days ago, more like that. But it was like so much, and then like after 2-3 hours, it was all gone. So not really lasting. Okay, so and Snake is saying, you were watching a video. What kind of video giving you the side eye? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been cold in the UK too. That's from Carly. So Carly is originally from the UK. I think you moved to a better spot, at least like weather-wise. I'm not sure if spider-wise Australia was the good decision. But yeah, weather-wise I can completely understand. And Louise is saying Sub-Zero, very slightly snowy in the Czech Republic. I think it's you are in a higher position, right? We also have more snow in the higher positioned regions, but here in the lowlands, thankfully not that much. Otherwise, the what we are saying, that whenever the snow falls and it's getting a little bit more, just a little bit more, then half of the people suddenly forget how to drive. So I'm happy that we don't have any snow here in the lowlands. And let me scroll. And Lois is saying, Tcheky Karyo is dead, had no idea, not too old, was he? He was already in his 70s. Let me check. Tcheky. Yeah, he was born 1953, so he was 72, and he has died of cancer. Let me share it on the screen. Yeah, so you can see it here. So I didn't even know that he was like from Turkey originally. I had no clue because I just remembered him like from French movies, or let's say from French cinema. So basically I was looking at it like, okay, he's a known actor like from European cinema, and I've seen him more in the French movies, but I had no clue that he's from Turkey, to be honest. And yeah, he died at the end of October. Cancer, unfortunately. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I really did like him. So yeah. And John is saying, I'm the black sheep. Black sheep Mass Effect. Ashley is my main squeeze. We all have our preferences, John. And okay, so Snake says Talizora, Carly says I'm Tane. Okay, so we are all like distributed equally. Mine is Garrus. But I think you've noticed that I did a replay of Mass Effect 3 on the channel somewhere like 2 years ago, and I was going for the romance with Garrus, as usual. I did test them out though, all of them, I think, Caden as well as Thane, so I can understand why you went for Thane. And Snake is saying, hey John, Ashley did nothing wrong. I still killed her off and prefer Caden in Mass Effect 1. You're probably not going to like me for that. Sisa the Jacob fangirl, Jesus Christ, I didn't like him. I not necessarily like him as a character, but he was just like not really well written. I think it was a good idea to incorporate a certain character like they did incorporate him, so he had a certain backstory, and I think the idea was good, but the execution wasn't so great. And what I found really annoying, to be honest, on Mass Effect 2 was whenever you were as Shepard talking to him, then no matter what he said, like he could like give you the cold shoulder and tell you like to get lost, basically, in nice words. And Shepard still behaved like if he would say the sweetest thing, like, you know, the reaction from Shepard and the tone from Shepard's side was just completely out of place, especially if you like didn't want to romance Jacob. So I always found the interactions like kind of annoying, to be honest. So I wasn't like necessarily a fan. In Mass Effect 3, I did like though that he like as a character, that he found like his own way, that he left Cerberus, that he found a good use for his skills, you know, he protected those scientists that he were with, and then he wanted to have a family, although I don't think the timing was exactly the best, to be honest, when the Reapers invaded, but okay, happens. In general, I don't have a problem with him as a character. I do have a problem with how, let's say, the whole thing was set up between him and Shepard in Mass Effect 2. But in Mass Effect 3, I actually did enjoy like his character arc. So, not a fangirl, but also not like not having a problem with him. Jacob gets way too much hate. I'm so on him. Like I said, I'm not hating him as a character. He wasn't a bad character. I just found the interactions a bit weird in Mass Effect 2. But in Mass Effect 2 in general, I had like a feeling they were trying to put too much emphasis on the romances. And sometimes they didn't give enough space to the characters' interactions or the dialogues. And it oftentimes came across as quite weird. So even though you had interesting romances, but the dialogues and the writing sometimes in those romances was just kind of awkward, I will be honest. So I like I mentioned already previously in a bit or on some other spot, in the romances bit. I do enjoy them when they are in a game and they are well written and they like add something on top of the story. So that's where I'm fine with the romances. But when you get a feeling that they are being pushed like just for the sake of it, then it oftentimes looks kind of weird, and sometimes even it gets to the point where it's so annoying to me that I just decide to completely ignore it and just go for the story, you know? So yeah. And Snake is saying, I like him having a kid because without kids, though no hope, and with no hope, there is what is there to fight for. That is actually spot on, I would say. Exactly. The most people in the game, I think the most of the characters have also expressed it, that they are not fighting for themselves, they are fighting for their loved ones, for their families, for the people they care about, not necessarily for themselves. So if you have a kid or you're expecting a kid, there's you have even more reasons to fight. And I think that was the good idea behind it. So yeah, I don't get either why he's getting so much hate. I don't think that like there is really a character that would have deserved hate. To be honest, some were better written, some were not so well written, but they were very different. And sure, we all have our preferences, like I said. So some characters were just not your type, whether as a character or as a romance or whatever, you know. So yeah, I'm fine with that. Let me check what else do I have. Oh yeah, one last thing before I go, because it's 11:14 already, so we are quite over time already, let's say. But and I have to think about my pets. But I have one more thing. Two. Okay, let's say two. One thing that I want to show you definitely, because I would love to, like I said in the very beginning, put more spotlight on a channel that I came across. I'm following them already for quite some time, and I really do like what they're doing. And that channel is, let me just switch and let me show you on the screen. So it's the channel called Midgame Life Crisis. And these guys, that's two guys who are making like podcasts, but also they do have separate videos, like shorter videos about certain topics, not just gaming. So yes, they also do a lot of gaming related stuff, but they're not just gaming for me. And I'm going to show you what I found absolutely hilarious and really like spot on was their videos about the newest Predator, a Predator movie for babies, Predator Badlands. There are a couple of bits about that movie, as you can see. So they did 3 months ago already one vid about it, etc. They are also like talking about games, of course, and they are also commenting on like what's going on, whether it's in the gaming space or in general in the movies and TV and entertainment. So I absolutely, definitely would love to like bring more spotlight to them, because they do it with a lot of humor. They like alternate between each other, and they are just like, their conversations are hilarious, and I really, really like a lot what they are doing. So guys, check out their channel, and check out some of the vids. And if you like what they are doing, then please subscribe. I'm sure they will be happy. They have just, as you can see, 383 subscribers. And I do believe they deserve more. They absolutely deserve more, because they are doing great stuff. So I just wanted to point out this channel. But please check it out. Please check out the videos. And let me know maybe next time if you have liked it or not. So that is something that I wanted to mention. And the other stuff that I wanted to discuss was, and let me switch back here to me on the screen. And I wanted to ask you, there's the calendar, just in case you're wondering. I wanted to ask you, because I'm looking at December, and I have noticed that in December, around mid or end of December, we have the 19th is a Friday. That's before the Christmas. And then the 26th, which is the second Christmas day, or St. Stephen's Day, I think some call it. So for us, it's a day off. And I think in some countries, it's a day off, and it's still like part of Christmas. And I was wondering, like, if you would like to join the stream, and if you would like to see the stream rather before Christmas, so on the 19th, or on the 26th, like during the Christmas time, when there is, let's say, maybe more time to watch something. But I also understand that many people will be like maybe not at home, and they will be, I don't know, skiing or whatever, and they will just be spending time with their family. And I would rather do a stream, maybe if there are more people able to join, than a stream to nobody. But to be honest, my personal preference would be the 26th. But like I said, I understand that people might not be able to join. So what I would like to do is what I would do is make a poll. I will open up a poll on YouTube as well as on X, and please feel free to choose like which date would be more feasible for you, because I would love to see you on the stream, and today it was awesome. So many people and so much chat. So I'm really very happy when I see you are joining, and we can discuss some stuff, and you can also give me some feedback on the topics that, of course, we are talking about. So I will open the polls and I will ask you what's more feasible for you and what you would prefer. So that was the thing that I wanted to mention. And also the last little bit from my side that I wanted to mention was that I am also on Discord, because a couple of people have been already asking me, but I don't have like my own server there in terms of like a public server that would be like for anyone to join, and that's simply because I just don't have the capacity to manage it, and I don't want to, let's say, create a server unattended. We all know how this can end, especially on spots like Discord. If you get my meaning. So I am there. I am in some servers. But if you want to send me a DM, or if you want to like talk to me directly, and there is you are not on Twitter and you don't want to be on Twitter, but you are maybe on Discord, you can catch me there. I have the same handle, Chatty Sisa, as I have on Reddit. You can see it here. I never know how to point here. So it's the same handle with the underscore as well on Discord. And feel free to reach out to me or send me a friend request. And after a while, we can maybe think about making a server if it's feasible, if there's enough people. But like I said, I just don't have the capacity to manage it, honestly. I am barely able to manage what I'm managing, and I have to apologize also on this spot specifically to John, who is a member on the channel, as well as on my Patreon page. I haven't posted for quite some time something on Patreon. I do have quite a few of the bloopers already gathered, and I do have some stuff already that I could use for the bits, and I would love to like post something there, but it just wasn't the time yet. So my biggest apologies, especially to you, because I really appreciate a lot that you have decided to support the channel, and it really means a lot. I will try to post something, especially when the Christmas time comes around. I will have some more time off, so I will definitely post something then on Patreon as well. Let me go back a little bit to the chat. Kali is saying, I'm really looking forward to Exodus. Wonder if they reveal a release date at the Game Awards. They will definitely post a trailer. So we discussed it already earlier a little bit on the stream. I'm sure that they will present a trailer. It was already announced, but whether we will get also a release date, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, you can already wishlist the game. So maybe it's a good question. Looking forward to, honestly, to the Game Awards. And I know last year we did a flop of the year game. I'm not sure if we would have so many candidates this year for flop of the year. That's why I didn't like prepare it this time for November. If you remember, last year we had like in November this kind of voting, and then in December I did announce it. I think it was in December I did announce the flop of the year. Currently, I'm not going to do it because I don't think we do have so many candidates, but if you think we do, let me know. There's still time to open a poll. But I will think about something interesting like for the Christmas period, definitely. And Louise is saying, oh God, don't get me started on the Predator crap. You are going to love the videos from Midgame Life Crisis. They have really like spot on. They're making fun of it, but really spot on. So yeah, check it out. And Snake is saying, I am a guy and I am a guy and easy, so whatever. And John is saying, whatever date odds are, I will be late. Don't worry, John. You are not the only one here who is late. I keep on starting late the stream. I don't know why it is. I have no clue. Sometimes it's like really technical problems. Sometimes it's really like either something happens with OBS because some update didn't work out, Windows. But currently Windows 10 has ended like the updates and the support, so I'm happy. At least I know that there will be no more updates that will be messing up any apps. So it's not so much about the technical stuff, but rather this time it was that it's quite a busy period for me. So I did work quite a long time today, and there was not really so much time to prepare everything for the stream. So I was a little bit running late, so never mind, don't worry. And also on this spot, apologies to everyone again. I know I said I will be starting at 8:30 p.m. It's not always working out, considering also like not just work, but also the pets you have noticed here. Sometimes something happens where I have to spend some more time with them, etc. And sometimes it just takes longer to cook something for the dinner. So but I will try to start a little bit sooner, promise. And Carly is saying, I'll add you on Discord. So I will be posting then also in the description. I'm not sure if I can put a direct link like to my profile on Discord, but if I can, it will be in the description then after the stream ends. So I'll definitely put it there, and you can chat with me there if you want to. And Snake is saying, man, so many people are late. I guess those gay frogs got everyone pregnant. Lol. Okay, you just nailed it. Okay, guys. Good. Thank you so much for being here. I'm waving too much with my arms, and then I'm just... my microphone is suffering. Thank you so much for being here. I will really have to end the stream now. It's getting a bit late, and the pets are starting to be quite nervous. Noticing the dogs already here. You don't see them on this side, but I can see them. So I have to go out with the dogs. I will definitely prepare again something interesting for December. Was quite a lot of quite many topics to discuss this time. I do hope that you liked the stream, and if you have any ideas, like maybe what you would like to see the next time, also please don't hesitate to post it in a comment, because I think we are regularly in contact with every single one of you. So my chatty crew is here. I'm so happy. And I wanted to thank you really everyone for being here, for those of you who have already left the chat and left the stream, and for those who have been also maybe here just for a while, and mainly then to all of those of you who have been here the whole time. It was really, really nice to chat with you, and I want to wish you a very, very nice weekend. I hope you can relax. Carly, have a nice summer weather. Again, I'm jealous. And Lois and John, I hope you will not get snowed in. And John, I wish you a nice rest of the Thanksgiving weekend. So everyone have a great night, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in December. Bye.